was like, all these, as I said, all these new artists, what they're dropping nowadays is like, that's why I just be listening to all the old stuff, like in my early years when I was first listening to music, because it's like, them times it was like it's really a story. And do you know what was sick? Is that, for example, and this is, obviously, so we're not going to talk about music too much, but one thing I find now, is that, for example, like, for instance, I used to think Nothing Was the Same was better than Take Care, right? Well, as I got older, gone through certain experiences, when I go back to listen to Take Care now, because of my life experiences now, I can relate to that story.
100%.
So then now it's like, in my head, I think Take Care is better than Nothing Was the Same. And that's because there's Drake had a foundation. It may not be what people liked, because obviously, as we spoke about, music's money driven, so everyone's chasing what the popping sound is. Whereas what he did was he painted his picture, painted his story. So now when people refer back to it now it's that as people grown older, especially us lot from our age, whereby back when he dropped Take Care, we were like 11. So how am I gonna? I can't really relate. I can relate to maybe sort of few things, but obviously as I got older and I go back to it, listen back to it, his catalogue now is that I can relate to it. But a lot, as you mentioned, these artists they don't have that.
And what you said, touching that popping sound is when you don't have a catalogue, the issue is, and like you just said it now, hits are always gonna come and go. So Offset said it even.
Come and go could mean come, go, and then come back.
And then come back again. But I'm saying come and go in terms of your hit is a hit today, another hit will come in next week, overshadow yours. Yours ain't a hit no more. I mean, it's still a good song, but it's not what's trending right now, like you said.
Yeah, but it's moments.
I actually like, you know what's crazy? I was saying this to myself, like, seeing these interviews of Offset snippets of what he's saying, I've actually kind of found to like him more because it's like, he speaks sense.
I listened to his Breakfast Club
interview. Yeah, and he was saying stuff like, nowadays, it don't make sense trying to find that hit single because what you think is going to pop, it don't matter because your fans will always, your fans will always test the market. Not test, what's the word I'm looking for?
Your fans will, if you got a good core fan base, they'll find a way to basically put your music out
put your music out there. And I also mean your fans are the ones that will also manipulate the market in terms of what you think is your best song might not be what they like anyway.
And it'll help it gain traction.
You know what I'm saying? So he's like saying it's a waste of time. He even said the whole point of listening parties now should be not listening party that your album's out. You have a listening party where this is a great idea. Play your music, tell your fans to pick what their best 1 or 2 singles are. Let those be your lead singles before you drop the album. And it's like, stuff like that is like where Ben's saying, you drop a foundation, you start a story, you now have a connection with your people. Like, they're not even for music, for art, for designing. But I'm saying, TikTok here, Instagram, if you just have a niche, focus on it. And that's what me and Ben were saying. Even if it's 1 year, 2 years, that 3rd year you're gonna bust and you're gonna, all those 2 years of saying, oh, these man ain't doing this. All it takes is one person to see your thing, just the right person. And they can pop that off for you. But we've seen it so many times on Insta where a footballer will say, rah, this, or footballer's playing a random guy's tune in the back of in his whip, just on an Insta story. Then that thing blows off.
All of a sudden gets traction.
Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I always try to tell people, like, especially in the degree thing, like, if you're creative, I'll always say, go out there and bet on yourself. And it's not bet on yourself like be reckless, but bet on yourself because don't ever say, oh, but everyone's doing this and this. There is 9 billion people in the world. There is 9 billion people in the world. You are going to have a market for what you're doing. UK is big, you know. Don't let people tell you London is small. Yeah, London is small, but London isn't UK. That's what I keep trying to tell people. You got Birmingham, you got Manny, you got Leeds, you got
Europe even.
Plenty of people, Canada, who are ready to intake what you got to do. So
Africa,
just go out there, man. Just go. Even look at NSG. I don't listen to their music. But right now they're popping in Africa all over the chart. Yeah. Obviously, if you look at the UK charts, you think, right, you man flipper. Because
their
demographic ain't here.
Because they notice that Africa's just as Africa's bigger than UK.
Bigger than UK, bigger than Europe. It is bigger than Europe.
Bigger than Europe.
Yes. So it's like it don't make sense, man. And one thing Ben always told me when I used to like complain about the views on my thing at first was like, Stephen, our fan base is not our friends, and it shouldn't be. And that changed my whole perspective. I was like, why? He's like, bro, deep it. If you're catering to your friends only, how far do you think you're gonna get from?
It's not how in terms of like the only reason why I said that is because when doing business, I'm not marketing my business to my friends. Like ask my friends there. When I remember when I first started that Sneak and Collect, it was not once did I ask anyone to repost anything. And if most of my friends, if I'm being honest, they didn't repost it. Obviously they did. I'm not gonna say they didn't, but at first it was
they weren't pushing.
They weren't they'd repost here and there, which I was always grateful for.
Yeah.
I always messaged them, but if they didn't, our relationship does not change whatsoever. Because in my head, it's like, this is my thing.
Yeah.
Whether you want to back it or not.
Do you feel away about that though? Like, do you? Obviously, no, I'm just asking. I'm not.
No, because
at the end of the day, take that personal.
People that take that personal, they just, you need to. I don't know. Maybe you don't understand business. Because at the end of the day, like, there's, like you said, there's 9 billion people in the world. And my friend's gonna be the only person buying from me. And let's say, for example, like, my friends aren't really with my business. Or people that know me, even not even my friends. I don't even get my friends, because my friends will always buy from me. Yeah, shout them out. But let's say even people that know me, for example, they happen to go to someone else that, I don't know, sells trainers as well. Am I going to feel a way about it? No, because my price is my price. That person might have given you a different price. Even if the person gave you a lower price or a higher price than me and you wanted to go to them because for whatever reason, I still wouldn't care. Because at the end of the day, there's other people in this world that I can sell trainers to.
I never did it from that perspective. Maybe that's where, like, that's what I'm saying. Even I'm growing up on this podcast because it's like, me personally, I think I would take that a bit personal. Like, if I'm doing something as your boy, I'm not saying as a friend, as your boy.
There's some of my boys haven't even reposted this podcast before. I would never care.
Oh, therefore, that one.
I would never care.
Yeah.
The people that will take the people, when people come online and say, oh, if you don't repost my shit, this, that, and the other, I know there's going to be people out there that are going to think, nah, if you're my friend, you have to support me. In my head, I'm sorry, anything I do.
But what if they're the breadwinner though? And like, I'm just saying in terms of, they know those same friends would come. Those same friends would come, be asking them for handouts, but they're not, trying to post the thing that's bringing in the bread.
You know what I'm saying? For example, if they're asking me for
the same man that are supporting you are the same man that are gonna ask you for certain. You know what I'm saying?
No, I won't give you the discount because I'm not someone that likes to give you a discount.
Not even discount, but I'm saying, let's say you're a little baby, right? And let's say someone like 42 Dog is his boy, yeah. 42 Dog don't repost his album that comes out. When the 42 Dog comes out asking for a feature. Do you think your baby should take that person? Yeah.
Little baby, if I'm little baby, I'll tell 40 Dog my normal price for my feature.
Oh, fair.
Yeah, because obviously you got to pay for the feature. So you got to pay for it at the end of the day. So that's how it works. So that's how I see it in a way, whereby it's like, in my head, there's no friends in business. So when I got my business hat on, no one's really my friend.
Yeah, you got to change hats.
Even my family don't have to. My family always repost my business or the podcast. Even if they didn't, I still wouldn't care. At the end of the day, because like you said, there's so many people. I always say, and I told you this before as well, is that whatever you're doing, people that know you, they will see you. They won't say anything. They'll just obviously they'll watch you from afar. Maybe they won't. They more time they won't acknowledge you until they see that you're popping. And to me, that's just the game. That's just business.
The game's the game. Yeah.
The game's the game. Like, even all these celebrities, when all these celebrities start linking up with each other, a lot of the time they don't even know the person. Because the person's popping now, that's all of a sudden when they want to start saying my bro. And obviously, it's just the world we live in. It's the world we live in. So
it is.
I just learned not to put emotions into things like that.
Just quickly, we're not gonna turn too much time on this music film, but I did see a take on the Drake thing today from Benny the Butcher where it's like, and I do think it's true because we both said it, where it's like, people, because we said there was one thing I think made you think posted a woman who did a review on the album after like a day or something, and it's like,
people need to stop reviewing albums after a day. Yeah, I know.
It's not even that, but
Craig Mitch said the same thing. Sorry, quickly as well. Craig Mitch said something.
Really that. Where you listening to the music on?
Yeah, because like I just mentioned, bro, when I'm listening after a few years of going for experience, and you listen to an album again, or you listen to a song in a club again, or you might listen bumping it in the car with your boys, or just different environments, different perspectives on just different environments, different perspectives. Now your ideas on or your viewpoint on something just changes. But yeah, sorry, go on. You were saying about what Benny the Butcher said.
No, Benny the Butcher was saying people don't listen to music anymore. They listen to review, and it's like it's obvious now because it's that saying, cool, that might not have been your favorite Drake album. That might not even have been in your top 3 Drake albums. But that itself is saying something. And then exactly the slappers on them. But that itself is saying something because it's saying that's like you going to prime Ronaldo, Messi, Ronaldinho, them man, after they had one bad game, or let's say like a bad 2 or 3 games after knowing the revenue and saying these man don't deserve to kick ball at the highest level. You will get someone will say like, what are you talking about? Because it's like, fam, there's a reason me and Ben just said longevity. There's a reason me and Ben just said catalogue. Like, sometimes it speaks for itself. And what we're saying is a lot of you might just want to be the first to do that hot take, fam. Just to go viral, just to say, oh, I said this. And it's annoying. Like, it's not even fun no more.
It is so... It makes... Exactly.
It doesn't even make... Because there's man that even... And this is why... Ben always asks me if I listen to the album. I say, no, I let a week to marinate. Because I don't want to...
I feel like a week's not even enough. Obviously, you can You can always give your, like, your first-hand, like... Your first time.
No, I'm saying I don't even listen to most new albums until it's a week after they've dropped, because I don't want... Because sometimes when you can hear stuff, it can actually influence the way you listen to the music.
Oh, no, normally I just don't. For example, when Drake album dropped, I didn't go on social media. Like Twitter especially, I stayed away from Twitter. A lot of the time when albums drop, I just stay away from Twitter or whatever, and I just listen to the album, and then I might go on Twitter and see what it thinks. I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. But then like over time, I'll just keep listening to the album. The only thing I was gonna say is that, and I feel like Drake's earned this privilege, but obviously, a lot of people say, for example, that, like, what's your opinion on? People say that they listen to the Drake album multiple times, right? So a lot of artists don't have that privilege. Obviously, Drake's earned that privilege because he has so many classic albums.
I get what you mean. Like, if you're a new artist,
like, if, like, for example, I'm one of these people. Like, I hold my hands up. Like, if you're a new artist, or like you're someone that's quite new, and I've only just sort of started listening to you, or I'm trying to take you in, like that. Like, I wouldn't give your album like as many chances as I'd give a Drake album.
100%.
But I've got to keep it 100.
One thing I do to keep it fair is I always listen to an album back to front twice. And when I do...
Oh yeah, twice.
New artist, old artist. But when I do, even if it's an artist that I love and I know I'm going to like the album, I'll always give a couple of days in between the listen. Just because, and I like advise this to everyone. Just because, again, your mood and, like Ben said, your environment heavily influences the way you listen to music. And you might even not even be in the best of moods or in the right mindset. Bro, there's man that listen to music when they're mad or they're eating.
That's what I'm saying. Do you know what's so mad? I took it, Brent Fire's latest album that came out 2022. I was in Cyprus, I was listening to it, and it was cool, but because of where I was at Cyprus and what I was doing, I just wasn't in that correct mindset to listen to it. So I was like, do you know what? Because I was chilling. I was about to.
That album got slappers, you know.
Yeah, but I didn't. Like, for example, the Heal the World interlude, whatever on that album. You got Jackie Brown, whatever.
Jackie Brown.
Yeah, but yeah, like at the time when I listened to that Brent Fires album in Cyphers, it's like, at first I was like, this is cool, but when I listened to it like months later, or not even months later, like this year, it's like that album sounds a lot better than when I listened to it.
Like, 100, and I think
that mind state.
And I think for new artists, and again, this is what me and Benham is saying. Sometimes when we complain new artists are rubbish, we're just not giving them a chance. So I implore everyone, like,
who's a new artist that you think? Look at us talking about music, we should have done. But who's a new artist that you said is rubbish that you had to?
Who's a new artist?
Because I'll be so real. There's not. I don't think there's a new artist.
Who's a new? I go check my.
And I'm not the type of person that
Who's a new artist that I flip my mind on? Yeah, sorry, keep talking.
Yeah, because there's been songs whereby it's like, for example, my boy got onto me. Yeah, I said Poland is a shit tune by Lil Yachty. Yeah.
Yeah, that's from Turn.
Obviously, I heard that tune in the club, and it was like, okay, it's Turn, but I'm like, this is microwave music. But he was like, bro, how you saying the song's shit, yeah, but in the club it's like a Turn sort of tune. Like, I like it in the club. I'm like, bro, the song is a shit song. I'm not listening to the song unless we're doing, I don't know, unless we're about to go out and we're trying to get turned a little just to get in that mood, or we're in the club. I'm not listening to that song, and that's okay. But obviously, yeah. For example, I think. Actually, I don't think I said Lil Yachty shit.
I don't remember. Oh, bro.
No, I remember saying Little Pump was shit.
No, he's meaty.
Smoke Perp, and I wasn't wrong on them sort of rappers.
He's an artist.
Oh, do you know what? I've got a bone to pick here. So I was listening to Three Shots, and they were mentioning like Taser and them. Obviously, they're grime heads, isn't it? Or not grime heads, but like
old school.
They're from a certain era, so they were around when grime was around, right? And they mentioned that guys like Flirty D. And you know when you hear these man rap, I call it onomatopoeia rap. So they start making the sounds and shit. Yeah. Do you remember when man were trying to get onto mumble rap?
Yeah.
Remember when mumble rap first come along?
Mumble rap is better than grime.
I wouldn't go that far.
I would.
I wouldn't go that far. But in my head, yeah, you had all these older guys that were
hold
getting
on.
onto...
Before you finish your point.
Go on.
Because I know your point is going to be good. Why I say that is, at least mumble rap is catchy sometimes.
No, but grime...
No, but I'm saying hits, bro. Lil Pump is meaty, but I cannot deny how cold Gucci Gang was when it came out. Now it's rubbish.
It was no Gucci Gang. Okay,
now the song is rubbish.
Yeah, I can't like when I was 18 and I was in the club in Gucci Gang.
I
remember vividly being in the club.
Come on, man, that's what I'm saying.
And that tune he dropped with Kanye called "I Love It."
Yeah. But that's what. So to me personally, before you grammars, DWE and the man come for me. You're a legend.
No, DWE is a legend. He's
a legend. That's what I'm saying.
Well, he's got cold.
He's got cold. But I'm saying, you know, I'm not talking about the onomatopoeia man you're talking about. Like,
no, but DWE's
he's good. He's good.
When DWE goes, oh, that's onomatopoeia. But I get that, bro, you gotta wheel it. That sounds hard. But yeah, for me, yeah, like when these I deeped it, I'm like, when I'm hearing them, because these man do, you know, when they're doing grime sets, and these man are spitting, and then they're rapping, and it's like a lot of the like when they're rapping their verses or whatever their bars, they're doing onomatopoeia sounds to fill in the bars. And anyone that tells me they're saying a word, a lot of people, you tell me what word they're saying when they're rapping certain verses.
Busta Rhymes, if you came out and said he was, a lot of his raps are him just making noises. They're not real words.
That's what I'm saying.
What's that one song everyone sings about?
These old heads will get onto mumble rap, but these man were doing the mumble rap onomatopoeia.
Doing the same thing. There's one Busta famous song where people say he doesn't breathe, but he just said he was just doing gibberish. There's no lyrics.
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
But
that's what I'm saying. So it's like I remember when they tried to. Oh, there's one TikTok comment that tried to relate Young Thug and Yeet. But I remember when Young Thug, Future, these man first came out. I know the comment you're talking about when they were like their voices, And the old heads tried to say like this ain't like hip hop. Like they were trying to say nah, this ain't it. And then now obviously we see what Young Thug and Future done in terms of musically and the sounds.
But Young Thug has slappers when he came out. This is why people need to stop comparing guys' catalogue.
Different eras.
When we first heard Young Thug, he had a catalogue. Bro, when did Lifestyle come out? That was still near it.
2015.
But when was Young Thug? I think Young Thug breakout was 14.
I think 13.
When did the one with Rich Homie Quan come out?
Lifestyle. He was before Lifestyle. That's Rich Homie Quan's breakout. He was Young Thug as like 2013.
When did Digits come out? I think I was 14.
I think 13 is when he's since 13, 14 is when he's been around. Barter 6 came out.
Because Barter 16 was 15, that's what I'm saying.
It's 14. Yeah, 14.
Was it 14, yeah?
Yeah, I want to say 14.
Best friend came out 15. So let's say late 14, early 15. 14, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. Thug had a catalogue. Thug had a catalogue, bro. Man, I'm saying yeast, yeah? Or sorry, yeet, yeah? Like, bro, no one can tell me 5 good Yeet songs that, like, objectively people would say are good.
It depends on generation, bro. It depends on generation.
That guy sounds like AI music, bro.
I went out last night. I was in the club last night, yeah. And certain, like, I deeped, like, I could tell the ages between certain people in the club.
When the songs came on?
Yeah. Because, like, for example, I was saying to my friend now on the phone, yeah, it's like, I'll be talking to someone in the club. Hold on. I was like, ask them how old their ages. Says like 19. To me, it's like, I can just tell because certain Playboy Carti tune will come on, and I'm not really fond of it. Or it wasn't even a Playboy Carti tune. It was Ken Carson. I don't know who Ken Carson is.
I heard about him. Yeah. One of them.
I've heard the name from a few
them rock hip hop artists.
Yeah. But he sounds like Playboy Carti. Yeet, Playboy Carti, them man, they all sound the same, innit? So I'm like, who's this? This Playboy Carti? She's like, no, this is Ken Carson. I'm like, I've heard of it from academics, but I'm thinking, well, this is who this Ken Carson guy is. But it's like, but then when Future March Madness comes on, then I see certain other girls that know the tune. I'm like, okay, yeah, you're my age. I can. But it's like in my head, it's like. Then when I look at the 19-year-old or the 18-year-old, they don't know Future March Madness. They're literally just sitting there like straight faced. I'm like, wow, you really don't know this song? Or thingy, like I pick up the phone, Young Thug, Travis Scott will come on, big tune to me. Like,
bro, do you know?
They don't know that tune.
Do you know what I always think? not that TikTok came out at a bad time, because obviously for people it came out at a good time, but if TikTok was around, imagine if TikTok was around when Whip and Nene came out, bro.
That was a crazy
or
time.
hit the Quan.
What social media, they had Vine in that? Vine was sort of
like Vine, but it wasn't like, Vine was still, people still moving a bit.
Instagram was on the come up.
Was on the come up.
So that was a...
So if hit the Quan, Whip and Nene, Do the Dougie, all came out in its prime.
Dougie was my shit.
Bro.
Dougie was my shit.
It would have been nuts.
So it's Soulja Boy as well.
Soulja
Boy dropped.
Other one. Now, he would have been... Oh yeah, he would have been...
But they all had this sort of like platform that they actually blew up from. So like Soulja Boy Clank, that was like YouTube. Because YouTube was like... That was when YouTube was on like almost like...
But even T-Pain had gold way back and say T-Pain was before his time.
Yeah, way before his time.
If T-Pain started dropping, bro, the club bangers.
Do you know who, like, I'll say even like, imagine if 30 Watt was around now. But my only thing is though,
his run wasn't long enough though.
But do you know why? I always think that my perspective of him is that he dropped all these hits all at once. Imagine he had like. He had like four tunes like
all in the summer.
He had all in 1 year.
But that's what I'm saying. But sometimes you have to do that because you see, because what I detest sometimes, you know, when rappers are hot, but then the delay dropping music.
No, but at the same time, you can't ignore the business side of things.
100%. But like we just said now, hits come and goes. You can easily be, especially if you don't have a catalog. If you have a catalog and have a hit, you can let that cool down. But that was the Roddy Ricch syndrome. Roddy Ricch didn't have the catalogue he thought he had, because
he dropped the one.
He dropped the he had a little like Feed the Streets, but no one really cared like.
Don't please excuse I'm anti.
I'm saying he dropped that, but I'm saying the catalogue he thought he had to Feed the Streets, it wasn't really that. Because when I go back to Feed the Streets now, I'm like, I used to think this was good, but this actually isn't that good. So when he dropped Please Excuse Me, it was like, yeah, cool, I can relax. But he relaxed too long to a point where he became lazy and said, I can just start being in the era where like I drop not something dead, but something average. You can't drop average yet, man. You're not at that level.
But at the same time, we gotta obviously it's not really our business, but at the same time, the hat I put on now, from just listening to a lot of people like interviews and stuff now, is that obviously people go through stuff. We just mentioned it before, like the artists. We tend to. We are quite selfish. I can't lie, because man, like, Roddy Ricch could have been going through something.
Yeah.
People are waiting for him to drop. Obviously, he's got the box, and that tune done a madness. Done a madness, and then it's like all of a sudden he may have been going through something business wise, the label, and it's like he doesn't want to drop anything, or you can't drop anything, and then now it's like when he's in a decent space whereby I was like, okay, I can drop something now. He's lost that sort of like traction and that sort of like bond with his fans or whatever, and then now it's like to the point where he's dropping stuff and people are taking the piss, and he doesn't want to come on social media. So stuff like that happens to artists. Like even like I think who is it that asked like, what does like, I think it was Nipper when I saw him on Twitter like this week, he must have said, what do creative people do when they're not feeling creative? And it's like, in my head I was thinking like, in my head it's like, this is why a lot of creative people take drugs.
A lot of them, that's okay. I know what they do. A lot of them just smoke bud, fam.
Bro, I'm telling you, that's why they all smoking. Bro, even like Joe Budden says that, bro, man was bare depressed. Like he would just start, he'll be popping pills and shit, and I'm thinking, like, we don't really know this stuff. No, that we don't really know this stuff, but we don't really take this stuff into account in a way.
Back to your boy Budden, just quick. So obviously the little tiff between him and Drake.
That's my boy, by the way. I'm happy you said my boy.
No, I know.
You thought I was gonna say what? That's not my boy. That's my guy. Boy, but I'm subscribed to the Patreon. I listened to that episode 666 that didn't come out on everyone's platform. I listened to it on Patreon.
On Patreon.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't drop it on.
He didn't drop it. Yeah, he didn't drop it. That's what made me pay. I paid £5 because I was like, I need to listen to this episode. I've been listening to Joe Budden was the first podcast I took in. You have been.
But like, I think Drake was right though. Because when I listened to the criticism, he didn't criticize the music. But Joe on the episode. Yeah, on the episode he didn't.
No. I'm saying after.
Yeah.
Joe was like, this is the crazy part that he said. Yeah. So Joe, at first, sorry, to go what you said to what you said, I thought, okay, Joe, you went personal there.
You did,
because you didn't have to say that, but obviously, in my head, it's like one, his tone. But if you know Joe Budden's like that. Yeah, he shouts a lot.
He loves the controversy.
He shouts a lot. That's just how he is naturally. So the outside world that don't be listening to him like that, don't know that this is just Joe being Joe.
Yeah, no,
and I'm sure even Drake knows that.
Yeah.
But the reason why Drake said what he said is because he knows that how that's going to influence other people into his music. Because Drake understands, and
Joe's got an influence in music.
Yeah, and even Drake. There's a video back in 14, 15 years ago on Joe Budden's YouTube channel where Drake's saying that Joe Budden inspired him, and so them two they've been known each other. But I think the funny thing is that Joe said he needs to stop fucking 25-year-olds.
Yeah, that was too far.
Which was funny, but on these, and I was thinking the same thing. Yeah, this is so mad. Before Joe said this, when I first listened to the album, the tune called "Calling You" was 21 Savage.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, I don't like that song. But he talks about he was in the club with a girl. She was 21, but she wasn't a savage. So when I first heard that, I was like, oh. So I'm thinking, brother, like Drake, I'm a big fan of you, bro. But you're like 30, what, 7, 6, bro, and you're talking about a 21-year-old girl in the club. Like I can't lie, like even me myself, like I struggle to talk to 21-year-olds because I prefer talking to girls at least my age. Like unless depending on what type of 21-year-old they are, but like you're 37 and don't tell me the 21. And don't tell me she's a mature 21 because the 21s that a lot of them are so immature to me. But bro, and
that Kevin De Bruyne playing on the 21 ball.
Yeah. Or Tom Hudson, then Phil Jones. Like Drake, come on, man. You're
you know that man that go back to school when they graduate high school because they still want to be top boy.
They're still stuck in that. Yeah, but so Joe Budden played that. He was like, I was giving you a pass. I said you need to stop fucking 21-year. I said you need to stop fucking 25-year-olds. Then he dropped the tune. He was like, and then as Drake's rapping in the tune, it doesn't sound like this is what Joe said. It doesn't sound like he moved away from the 21-year-old because he must have said a bar whereby he made her come, meaning that he's still talking. And the way it sounded, he's still talking about the same 21-year-old he spoke about in the club that he met. So it's like, cool, I get what Drake said in terms of it was personal, but at the same time...
There are some valid criticisms, yeah.
There's valid criticism, and if we're being real, as you mentioned, like, we like artists that paint a story, right? Like, have a story. Joe Budden, remember, your personal life relates to your story, obviously, because we expect that they're talking about what's actually really going on in their life. Joe Budden, to a degree, he's right. I agree with him. I was on his side because that's why he's fucking around with 25-year-olds. I remember I already gave you.
We said this on our podcast, right?
He needs to stay away from Yachty because Yachty's all these young.
Bringing him down,
yeah. Bro, He needs to get away.
You know what the issue is? Drake is still trying to please everyone. He needs to drop more Honestly Never Minds, but on different. No, not like that.
But in like
different genres. Yeah. So just drop. If you want to drop a rap album, just drop 10 songs of you rapping.
And then do a singing one.
And then do a singing one, 10 songs of you. Because at this point, and I think that's where I agree with Joe Budden, is that it's not your fault. You're still trying to cater for everyone, but you can't go from...
Streaming game.
Yeah, you can't go from a No Friends in Industry type song to then a Take Care type song, then like a Honestly Never Mind song all on the same album. Because to us, it's going to sound like, hey, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? Because even as a listening experience, you'll be back. Bro, we said it in our episode 2 weeks ago. The most important or the most excitable part of Drake's album is what? The first song. Because his first song...
He's made that a thing.
He's made that a thing, bro. But when I listened to that first song, I said, what the heck is this?
But my problem with that first song is that why is it the first song? Virginia Beach, I would have loved Virginia Beach.
If it was like lower down, it's not a terrible song, but it's like, what? Bro, you don't go from Tuscan Leather to that.
Over My Dead Body. All them intros.
Even one on Scorpion. I like the Scorpion one
Survival.
as well. Survival. You don't go from that to this, man. Like, but...
Yeah, to me, like, what Joe Budden said, he was right, innit?
But I can't lie, Drake dropped an E on him. That response was funny. When it was like, you...
When he said that, I laughed, but I was like, Drake, Joe Budden's right, regardless. And the worst thing about it is that even though he said that, okay, he's a failed rapper, Joe Budden said, yes, I'm a failed rapper. Joe Budden says that though.
You got no shame. He's like me.
Like the reason. So that's why I love Joe, because even on the episode, obviously that he on Patreon, that he dropped on Patreon, even he said like, "Yo, I'm a failed rapper." Yes, cool. That's why he transitioned into. There's nothing wrong with that, but at the same time, and even Drake's admitted this, whereby a lot of these rappers are all liars anyway. A lot of them only like. I think what song was it? I think it was on Do Not Disturb, or one of them timestamp tunes whereby he said a lot of these rappers are all. No, it was Two Birds One Stone, whereby he said like maybe 2% of these rappers are rich, and the rest of them are all milking it, because not every rapper, all these rappers are successful, or actually making money, making a proper living out of music. So Drake, you can't use Drake as a benchmark, because he's like
he's gone.
He's
gone.
He's basically gone. He's astronomical.
He's gone, bro.
He's one of the rare few that you can say that is just like he's made like he's.
But talking about that, yeah. Now into the UK sense of it, where it's like, bro, this just showed me if that, because obviously that happened, but nothing happened, which is good. Like you're allowed to criticize, you do a tip back. That can't happen in the UK.
Yeah, of course, because London's too small and you get found. No, I thought the exact same thing. I thought the exact same thing.
Because I said to Ben, if I said it,
they'll find you. They'll find you.
No one can say that
they'll find you, because everyone
but
knows.
That's so sad.
I deep a lot. Everyone knows someone who knows someone.
Bro,
so then
the music blogger,
you'll get found.
As a woman, she's fighting for her life, and I respect what she's doing. But you can still say a lot of men are not just because.
So I'll say to you what's funny as well. For example, this studio, right? Mm-hmm. Anyhow, like let's say for example, you say something. Atlantis is about artists, and it gains traction, and bare people see it. Someone will be like, I guarantee you, someone that, for example, that the artist may know will be like, "Yo, I swear this is that studio." Okay, cool. They might, for example,
they'll pull up.
Do you get what I'm saying? So it's like, or they might, for example, like someone might say, "Oh yeah, I know that. I think one of my boys knows. He used to play basketball with him." Bro. Yeah, so things like that.
I just want to talk about music, but I realised it's actually not worth it in the UK. Mimi, the music blogger, is fighting for that.
I love Mimi,
and I love her because she's so open.
And even though I may not agree with her.
A lot of things I don't agree with. I'll be honest, but I respect what she does. A
lot of them I do agree with, or sometimes I can tell is her emotion. But she says that herself, and she's so real with it. That's why I love Mimi, and I always.
Bro, she says she's bi. Bro, that's what we wanted to see.
Even Joe Budden says that as well.
Yeah.
But Joe was like, listen, he's gonna get to the point where he doesn't review because it's like these guys are so insensitive. But do you know what's annoying though? And the UK rappers are like this as well. With Mimi is that, and American rappers is that these rappers are so insensitive, but you're dropping shit tunes. Like don't get it twisted. So certain rappers that are rapping, especially in the UK, because I've been the same for a minute now. That UK rappers are rapping better than US rappers. Some of these rappers are making are rapping, and they're making good music as well and good projects. But at the same time, a lot of these other rappers that are just chasing the bag, they're not dropping good music. Yeah. So then when someone says that, bro, why don't you just?
Why is it a Percy thing? But like I said, I think they need to get more consumers involved. Like, yo, what do you think? Like, this. But
you know how it
because someone said it, bro. UK cannot have a Wild and Out. Someone will get stabbed. Someone will get stabbed.
Someone will
on TV. No, it's sad.
That's the worst thing about it. I think that's why we cherish guys like Sidemen and Beta Squad and like the Young Phillies, the Chunks, because that's sort of like our Wild and Out, like KSI, all these man doing that's our Wild and Out, because that's like the most.
They're the ones chilling with the big boys.
No, because that's the level that in terms of like joking around and bantering.
Oh, with them,
that's the level that we can do.
We could do it.
We can take it to.
Yeah.
Whereby it's not like on a personal thing. And if you notice, and even I was listening to because Young Philly on his channel, he was having like a mukbang with Harry, Pinero, Chunks, and Conan, and even they were saying about Conan, like at first when they saw Conan, when they were gonna do Does the Shoe Fit with Conan, in their heads they were thinking, oh, is he gonna be a bit stush or like one of these typical rappers? Because a lot of rappers, obviously people say that they got no personality, they're stubborn, or they're just boring, innit? Like no one really wants to be around them. And they were like, wow, like they were surprised how good it was in terms of like bouncing jokes and bantering. Like he was just like normal man, innit? And it was like, they were like, yeah, because a lot of rappers like they got no personality, or like they act like this big star that they're not. And in my head is like, yeah, like that's like why, like, example, when it comes to all these things, that we actually cherish these KSI and the chunks because these men are showing personality and they're actually relatable.
100%.
And it goes back to what we keep saying now in terms of having a story. It allows people to relate to you.
Yeah.
And that's all people want. That's all people want.
Yo, this before